Well, hello again. A general overview of our current situation. Shot from the hip. I didn't take any notes. I should have. Okay. Well, everybody's pretty well starting to see through the fact that our immigration policies are supposed to be based on bolstering the tax base because we don't have enough peasants paying tax. Because the bean counters in the past screwed up, and hey, the haircut's done a good job the last 4 years, racking up $750 billion in deficit. So, the argument now seems to be changing towards, well, we're not keeping up with the rest of the world. We're only breeding at a rate of 1.6, whereas they breed, I don't know, like rabbits. So we want to keep up with that, do we? Yeah, there's good thinking. The places they've been breeding at more than 1.6, they're cesspits. They've turned their backyards into sewage ponds. Their countries are a mess, filthy, dirty, impoverished places. Countries that, a few decades ago weren't so bad. They weren't third world countries, but now everybody wants out. Where do they want to come? Here. So, we want to keep up with that? We're not keeping up with that. We want to keep up with that, do we? Oh, I don't think so. I don't. What have we brought in now? Who knows? You can never get a clean count. Do we want 10 million in on 37 million? Do the math. No, we don't. As far as the economics go, well, it's kind of coming to light. Pretty hard for most people not to be aware of the fact that it makes no economic sense. Costs a king's ransom to bring them in here. The statistics seem to be showing that they don't really start to work and become tax-paying peasants. They get a free ride. I could argue the economics on it. Statistically, it costs this, it costs that. We put them up, the paperwork, the bodies that are dealing with them, the RCMP being baggage handlers. And again, I've said before, all of a sudden they went from people of our immigration policy to, oh, they're illegal immigrants. Well, they're illegal, stop them coming in. There's no money in it. The concept of having them to bolster the tax base, it's not flying. Everybody's seeing through that. Do we want to double Canada's population? Why would we? All that's going to do is hasten us turning our place into a cesspit, the same as they've done theirs. When I say theirs, I mean all over the place. Pick one. India, Turkey, China, Pakistan. Do we want to be like that? Or are we in a hurry to get there? Oh, we're not breeding as fast as they are. We're not keeping up. Well, I don't know about you. I don't want to keep up. I'd rather stay lagging behind. Seems like a better lifestyle. I don't want to go anywhere else. They all want to. Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about our haircut at the helm, as I often do. The ethics commissioner found him guilty on both the Trudeau 1 and the Trudeau 2 report. It's supposed to then go to the ethics committee. Somehow, the Liberal Party, in collusion with the NDP and the Bloc Québécois, voted that down. Say what? That's why we're supposed to have an overseeing body in bodies. The Ethics Commission, the Governor General. How do you get to vote? I come up on charges for Grand Theft Auto. What are me and my buddies vote? No, no charges for him. Well, it's not supposed to work like that. And I've mentioned it before, all these citizens coalition groups that are forming. It's unprecedented in Canada, and there are a lot of them. And now, I admit, I have not had time to, I haven't made the time to have a good look at them all, pick one or two. They're making petitions. I've listed some of them before. Find some of them. Have a look. See what they're saying. Stop looking at cute kittens. We're in a crisis situation here. And if you take a look at, you know, with the whole ethics thing, the Trudeau 1 and 2 report, what are the other parties doing backing him up? You'd think they'd be all over that. No, 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 no. They're all like this old boys club. You know, it goes back to, well, who do you vote for? One's as bad as the other. Well, apparently they are. Just an old boys club trying to, nobody wants to give up the reins when they get a hold of them. It's sick. They're out of control. The hogs at the trough, it's got to be stopped. These citizens coalition groups, it's our only hope. If enough of us get together, if enough of those groups get together, we get enough power. I mean, it's not quite time to put our boots on and march up to Ottawa, but you can do it at home on your computer, on your phone. Look at these groups, pick one or two, half a dozen, whatever works for you. You can sign petitions online. Again, you don't have to put your boots on and go to Ottawa just yet, but it's headed that way. Every day I look, I see more and more and more growing, and a lot of people, you know, they're trying to do the right things, petitions, citizens groups, referendums. And a lot of other people, they're buying guns and stocking ammunition. And that's a frightening thing unto itself. Now, am I saying they're not wise to do it? Well, alas, I can't say they're not wise to do it. We're headed to hell in a handbasket, hard and fast. This haircut at the helm, again, I've said it before and I'll say it time and again, his agenda is evident. He and his cronies, they want a dictatorship. You know, look at the money he squandered, and with the COVID-19 thing, what did he say in one of his speeches? I can't quite quote him, but we're in the enviable position of having unlimited resources to battle this. Well, we'd have a damn lot more resources if you hadn't squandered $750 billion. Lord, people, look at what they're doing. I mean, the haircut's at the helm at the moment, but really he's just a dupe. Look at the cabinet he's formed. You know, the minister of this, the minister of that. You know, what do they got there? A couple of degrees in creative basket weaving? I mean, you know, the minister of health, what's the closest thing he's got to anything to do with health is, I don't know what, you know, first year veterinarian student would know more. I'd have more faith in than that clown. This whole cabinet, oh, people, please wake up, have a look at these groups. Get doing something. I mean, I've got to do more. I'm trying to do my little bit here with my rants and rambles. I mean, I don't do this just to amuse myself, as much as I often find myself amusing. But that's not really a good thing. I should have taken some notes. I had more to say, but man, this guy and his cronies and the whole way Ottawa and the hogs at the trough are operating, we're like perilously close to not being a democracy anymore. And what do they call it? A state of emergency here in Canada. If that gets declared, don't think it's going to come out undone. It's going to stay. They're already in collusion up there, all knitted together. There are no separate parties anymore. If they're all voting to get him off of criminal charges, I don't know. The citizens coalition groups and petitions, referendums, I mean, we may have to march on Ottawa. It may come to that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does, alas. But maybe we can stave that off by unification and getting out there, having a look at these things. Put the cute kittens away. They'll always be there. And to the people who are, you know, have stocked and are stocking their larders, and their ammunition. Well, good for you. I certainly don't think that's a bad idea, not by any means. But as you're doing that, don't become secular. Stay with, there are other people of the same mind. We're all Canadians. We all want the same thing. Now, if some doughhead's going to sit and watch kittens and not stockpile whatever, not be thinking this way, not be looking at what's going on, well, I guess that's their problem. But please don't fragmentate into, I'm at home here with my guns and my toilet paper against everybody else. Okay, you got your guns, you got your toilet paper, you're good. Help out your fellow man. I mean, wouldn't you rather all of us like-minded thinking people, so to speak, got together and stopped this before it got to the point where you're damn thankful. Yeah, I got your guns and your toilet paper. Don't stop at home. Start at home. But we need to unify. We need to be aware. And, you know, I don't know. I can't stress it enough. I wish there was a simple solution, you know. I don't know why there isn't a simple solution. It's complex. But wake up, people. The people who aren't looking at this, you know, if you are, I mean, every day I pick one person and I say, look, you've got to look at this. Here's some sites, here's some groups. Just put the cute kittens away for a minute. Have a look. I'm not trying to sway you on my opinion, just have a look. Now, how successful I am on waking up that one individual every day? Well, probably not as much as I'd like to think I am, but at least I'm trying, you know what I mean? I could be doing more, I intend to do more. But if one of those, every 10, I wake up and they sign a petition, they join a group, something, that's a start. You know, it's too early to go out and start shooting turkeys and picking wild leeks. I got a little bit of spare time on my hands. One a day. If I can try to convert one. My posts and reposting stuff. Is that 1 out of 10 again? I don't know. But let's stick together, people. Let's keep going. And that's all I got to say today. These guys, when I say these guys, the hogs at the trough, when I say they're out of control, I mean they are out of control. Technically, we still live in a democracy. In reality, it's not a democracy as of before today, before right now. I wish everybody good luck. Thank you.